Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Unity tutorial video. Today we're going to go ahead and create a generic timer that you can use in one of your games. So go ahead and create a resources folder, and then in that folder create another one for scripts. So this timer is going to do use a couple of techniques that I haven't talked about before. One of them is the concept of subscribers and listeners, and then the other is interfaces. So we'll get to that when we reach it. Let's go ahead and create a script called a univ timer, univ standing for universal, and create an empty game object and then attach the timer to it. And then we're going to add a GUI text so that we can see our timer work. And let's put this up to 20. Okay, so in this script we're going to go ahead and run a countdown timer. There are different types of timers, but we'll get to those as we go along. A public enum timer type. So right now this is only going to have one timer type in it, called countdown. We'll use this later on when we have different timer types, but for now we're just going to have that. We're going to need to use system.collections.generic so that we can use some lists. Okay, and then we're going to have two lists of game objects. One is going to be a listeners, and then another one is going to be another list of game objects called subscribers. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to need a float for time, and we'll put this at 5. And then we're going to make a coroutine, which is an enumerator, called countdown. And we're using this enumerator so that we can do something like this. While greater than 0. And we can use the yield command to wait 4 seconds. So we can wait for a second. When this command happens, this line here, this coroutine will pause and won't continue until a second passes. And then we can say time in seconds, minus minus. And we're going to need one more thing, GUI text. And we're going to go ahead and create another function called update text. Amount. And then our text equals math.max between 0 and our amount toString. So we're doing this math.f.max in case this amount's ever negative, because we don't want to display a negative time. And we want to update text with time in seconds. And then we need to start the coroutine so that this function will work. Countdown. Okay, so we go back to our game object, we can rename this a univ timer. And just drag our text into it. And we're not going to do anything with these two lists right now. Let's just click play and see what happens. And so we're counting down. Alright. So far so good. So let's go ahead and create two more classes that are going to start somewhat different. They're going to be called univ timer listener and univ timer subscriber. Okay, so let's open up the subscriber. And it's not going to be a mono behavior, and it's not going to be a class, it's going to be an interface. So an interface is a special type of object. And what it is something can inherit from this. And what it does is it creates a contract between this interface and the class saying that it will implement the methods described in the interface. So we're going to have one method here, initialize, and it's just going to be a undefined, just a signature for the method. That's all we need for that. And then in the listener, we're going to have another interface, and what this one is, it's going to be on time ran out. And this one we want to pass a univ timer in. Okay.